In this lesson, we'll take a close-up look at the first 16 bars of the solo that Slim Gaillard plays on A Wellertake My Joe. Here's what this lesson will cover. The first line of the solo is firmly based on an F chord. In fact, if you take the normal 4-string F chord shape that you play the open position and take that all the way up 12 frets to the 13th fret here, this will help orientate you to most of the licks used in this section of the solo. So we start with 2 pickup notes on the 2nd string at the 13th fret. Then we're into the F chord shape played from that note again, down to the minor 3rd, that's the A flat at fret 13 on the 3rd string, corrected to the major 3rd, A at fret 14, so that's, and then resolve down to the F note there at fret 15 on the D string. Next, we work the F6 chord from the top octave F at fret 13 on the 1st string. So we come down via the 6th note of the scale. So we played F at fret 13, top string, and D at fret 15 on the 2nd string, down to that C note again, fret 13, and then we're back to that same trick as we just used just now, the minor 3rd to major 3rd, fret 13 to 14 on the G string, and then landing back on the C on the 5th. So that first line again at half speed. And more or less at full tempo. Great guitar solos usually mix their methods. In this next line, we move away from chord-based soloing to playing a line that's based purely on the F major pentatonic scale. So after bouncing a couple of times on this C note from the lower octave down here, fret 10 on the 4th string, we play 2 notes per beat straight up the scale. So that's fingering 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. Once we reach the F there at fret 13 on the top string, we jump up to the A at fret 17. And this is the start of a lovely B flat minor based lick, which works great because at that stage we're changing from B flat to B flat minor. So after the A at fret 17 on the top string, we play G at fret 15, quickly followed by F at fret 13 and D flat at fret 14 on the 2nd string. This is then woven back into the F6 chord by playing this lick. So from D flat at fret 14, we get back on harmonically safe ground by passing to the D at fret 15, then up to F at fret 13 on the top string, back down the major 6th chord shape again via the notes at fret 15 and 13 on the second string before anchoring down through the same minor to major third trick as used earlier, fret 13 to 14 on the third string. Fret 13 on the second string comes next, and then enclosing the A note by playing 15, 13, 14 on the third string before anchoring down to the root and fifth at fret 15 on the fourth and fifth strings. So together that's time for a recap of the solo so far. First at slow speed. Then at more or less full tempo. The next two bars look easy on the tab. The same note played 16 times in a row. But learning to count that and playing it with the right rhythmic feel may prove more difficult for some less experienced players. So the note is F at fret 10 on the third string. And the best way I know to count this properly is to use a method of vocalizing that's often used by swing players. And that's to count 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a for each bar. So over these two bars, that would be 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a. At full speed. The next three notes are played with the same rhythm. So that's the F at fret 10 on the third string, followed by frets 13 and 12 on the fourth string. This is a snippet of the F mixolydian mode, which then lands on the C note at fret 10 on the fourth string, firmly on the third beat of the bar. So you can count this 1, a 2, 3, 1, a 2, 3, and then we hit that C note again, followed by the B flat at fret 13 on the fifth string. These are both chord tones from the C7th chord that comes at the end of this line in the rhythm part. So the whole of that line goes like this. Or at full speed. As we come into the last line, we return to working the F chord shape as we did at the start of the solo. So again, that's using the minor third to major third trick from fret 13 to 14 on the third string. Then up to the C note at fret 13 on the second string, back to the F at fret 15 on the fourth string. Then that whole phrase is repeated exactly the same over the B flat to B flat minor change. And then we play a phrase using the same first three notes, but linked with a hammer on. To give them that 1, a 2 timing, before landing on the B flat note at fret 15 on the 3rd string, firmly on beat 3 of the bar. And then finally, using a pre-bend to play the last 3 notes of the F minor scale. So we pre-bend G at fret 12 up to A flat, and then unbend it or release it back to G, and then come down to the F note at fret 10 on the 3rd string at 3rd string at fret 10. And this is played twice, this note, to sort of emphasize the full stop effect. So the whole of that last line goes like this. And at full tempo. With this lesson on the Secret Guitar Teacher site, I'm making available 2 backing tracks, one slow and one at normal speed, to help you practice this solo against. And in the next lesson in this series, I'll go over the second half of the solo. Hope to see you then.